friends, I'm back to do sort of a different reading vlog. So I am a member of Riley Marie's Patreon, and she is doing a weekend reading vlog where she kind of sends us on a scavenger hunt to choose our next read. So I am going to do that, and I'm also participating in Battleathon. So the next vlog you see will be like books by authors that I loved before and hope to give them 5 stars. So this will just be like a weekend reading vlog, and the book I finished in this will kind of get read for that. Hopefully, you know, I like find it's long enough. I don't know, but I'm gonna vlog it, and if I wind up reading other things in this vlog, maybe I'll do the scavenger hunt again. I don't know. We will see. But the first book is find a book that you gave 5 stars. So I'm just going to pick my favorite book of the whole year that not enough people have been talking about. So I'm going to say Isles of the Gods by Amy Kaufman. This has been my favorite book of the whole year. And it is a seafaring adventures with elemental magic. And the prompt is find another book you would recommend to people who like that book. So I'm going to kind of do the reverse because this book is not nearly as popular. But if you did like Isles of the Gods and kind of reverse, I would recommend you pick up River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross and vice versa. If you read River Enchanted, I think you should pick up Isle of the God because I think this one is like very, very underrated, at least on booktube. I'm like the only person I've seen read it. But this book also does have elemental magic. It's a Denzel fantasy story. There's a bard element, and there's like political alliances. You could also get a lot of point of view characters in here, and this book is also many point of views, and there's also adventure elements in both stories, and there's also elemental spirits. So really like this. Think that if you like this you should read this, but both will work. So I guess the book that I'm going to is this one. So the next prompt to choose my next read is count the number of letters in the title and pick a random spot on your bookshelf and count to that number. Oh, okay. So let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I have to find the 15th book on a certain bookshelf. All right. So I have a lot of bookshelves, so this may be a bit complicated to choose from. So, all right. I think I might, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll do, I don't know what I'm in the mood to read. That's like also the problem. Like all right. So let me go find a bookshelf. I have to find the 15th book on a bookshelf. I think that's what I said. So I'll be back with that book once I do that. So that was easier than I thought. So the book that got chose was You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Caitlin Barron. This is a really, really quick book. I don't even think it's like 250 pages, and it's a slasher story. And I have read Caitlin Barron before, so this is going to be in the pile for that. And then let's look at the next prompt. I didn't read through all these prompts, so some of them are a little bit of a surprise. Okay, so look at what's on the cover and find another book with one of those elements in the title. Okay, so there's a cabin, there's a girl, there's an owl, a cabin. Do I have a book that has like a cabin? Do I have a book that has like a forest in it? Garden, hair. Okay, all right. So finally, I find another book with one of those elements in the title. Moon, owl, and a cabin, or like a house. All right, let me go see if I can find something with that, or trees, I guess. All right, let me go see what I could find. A book that has something on the cover in the title. Moon. All right, I'll be back once I find something. A little bit, but for this book, there's water on the side, so I'm gonna count Skin of the Sea and just say that sea is kind of water. I don't know if she's on the sea, but it definitely is water. So, and I was having a hard time. There's not like a lot on this cover other than like a girl. So yeah, I'm going to count that. So the book we're going to pull for this prompt is Skin of the Sea, and my battery's about to die. So I'll be back when I change my battery. Do this. I failed at my scavenger hunt, so hopefully I have better luck this time. But the next prompt that we're doing off Skin of the Sea is reverse the page number of your book and find another book with a page count closest to that number. Oh, I have to open up my edition. I never opened up this edition. I sometimes forget to open up my Owlcrit editions, but this one has to get open. This is also a very, very pretty book. I've actually never ever seen the inside spine, but I got this from an owl crate back in the day before. Ooh, that's very, very pretty. Ooh, very, very pretty. All right, so let's see. I haven't even opened it, so maybe that will be motivation for me now to read it. Page number is... All right, so 309. I don't think I have books that are... All right, maybe I won't do the acknowledgements. All right. Oh my God, reverse page count. 603. Oh my God. 600 pages? Oh, that's gonna be... I think I'm not reading that book. 603. Heavens. Heavens. Oh dear. All right, let me go try to find a book that's 600 pages long. I don't know if I have many of those, so this might take me a little bit to find something that's 600 pages because I don't really have books that long. All right, I'll be back. All right, so I don't have books that are 600 pages, but a pretty big book that I do have is like 570. So I'm gonna say Ashes of the Sun by Django Wexler. This is gay Star Wars in space. And I really want to read it. It's on my TBR for the month, so if this one got picked, I'd be perfectly content with that. But again, we're not there yet. But this is like a retelling set in space. And the next one is use some tropes and find another trope that shares some of these tropes. So I know that there's a romance in this book. I know that it is set in space. So I actually have a really good book for this. So I'm going to go get that. And it does share tropes, I believe. So I'm going to go get that. But ooh, it's going to be a bit of a departure. But I have it on my TBR for a while, so. Tag group adventures that have a romance element is Stars That We Steal by Alexa Dawn. This is sort of like an Anastasia retelling set in space. And I've had this for so long. I've actually read Alexa Dawn's murder mystery books and really enjoyed it. That is why I have kept this arc for so long. I got this quite a while ago from HMH, but I still want to read it. That's why it's on my TBR. And then the next book pulled from that is find a book that has the same color combination to your book. So basically find a book that has gold, silver, and blue. Gold, silver, and blue. All right, let me go see what I can find. Doing the best that I can, but I do see some silver over here. I do see some gold and I do see some blue. So this is The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim. This is the sequel to Six Crimson Cranes, which I still do need to read. It is a sequel. It is on my tentative TBR for next week. So if I get to it early, that would be great, but we will see. And then read the first sentence, pick any word in that sentence and find a picture and find a book with that word in the title or pictured on the cover. Read the first sentence. Okay, so let's see. What is the first sentence of this book? I don't know. There's a map. I always... In the bottom of the Tessesian Sea, tasted of salt, slime, and disappointment. Sea. C. Alright, let me go see if there's a book that has the word sea in the title. I just did one, so I'm going to have to find another one that has C. Oh! No, that's not what. C. Alright, let me go find... Oh! C! So, Prince of Storm and Sea by Lindsay Miller is an arc. It's their new Prince line of novels. So yeah, that worked. Okay, so now let's go see what this is. So, next one is Turn to the... Oh, I don't know if this book has acknowledgements. Oh yeah, this book doesn't have acknowledgements because it's not like a... It's like a arc. Turn to the acknowledgements. And oh, this book doesn't have acknowledgements. Oh no. All right, that's not gonna work. All right, I'm gonna have to change my book. Oh, Given to the Sea. Okay. Here. Sorry, this book just doesn't have acknowledgements because it's an arc, but let me see what this one is. This one should have acknowledgements. Let me just see what it says. Find a book written by the author with the same... Ooh, with the same name. Let me see. Oh, Cinda Williams Chime. I actually have a book by her. Okay. I have actually a few books by her, so let me go make sure. Okay. Okay, let me go get that book and then we will chat about it. I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer. Cinder Williams Tyler is Children of Ragnarok, the Runesong Saga by Cinder Williams Chima. I got this signed when I went to Y'all Fest last year, one of like the few signings I actually went to. So yeah, this is the one I got signed. It says, the prompt is to look at the cover and find a book that has a similar looking cover. Okay. I don't know if I still, like, it would probably be like a Percy Jackson book, to be very honest. So let me go see where I put my Percy Jackson books. Yeah, oh, you know what? Okay, let me go get something because it's like very, very action adventure-y, which always reminds me of Cinder Williams Chima because I think that they were both like loosely inspired by each other. So let me go get the other book and then we'll look at the last prompt. I haven't looked at the last prompt because I didn't want to know what I was working towards. So let me go get that last book and then we'll look at it. Okay, so the book cover that reminded me of this one now that I was looking at all my Rick Riordan books is definitely Son of Neptune by Rick Riordan. This is the second book in the Heroes of Olympus series, which when I was reading this book, I had waited for this book for so long because Percy was back and I love Percy. So yeah, these books kind of give me the same vibes. And let's look at the last prompt and let's see what I'm picking for my new book to read this weekend. Oh dear. I don't know. I'm nervous when other people pick books for me because I'm a control freak and I'm a planner. All right, add your birth month together and date together. Turn to that page in your book and pick any word on that page and find a book with that word in the title. And that's your final book. Okay, so I'm born August 9th, 1987. So let me just make sure I'm doing this right because I could do it wrong. All right, so August, okay, so 8, calculator, let me just see, I'm doing this right. Okay, so 8 plus 9, let me just see, 8, I feel like, sorry, I'm so bad at math. All right, oh no, wait, no. Okay, 8 plus 9 equals 17. Okay, so turn to that page in your book and pick any, okay, so page 17. Oh dear. Well, we're in a Percy chapter. Monster Lady Gorgon's Choice, Future, Camp. Okay, well, so here's the words I can choose from that I think might give me something. We have heart, sweet, choice, hill, wings. I have a graphic novel. See, new life, escape, pain and misery, camp. All right, well, let me go see what I can find. This is a little bit harder than I thought, but there's also a monster too. So all right, let me go see what I could find, and that's gonna give me my book. So the word I actually chose was sea, which has been like the theme of this whole vlog because I had like 5 sea books that all had like sea elements to it. So I think I am gonna pick Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I have been waiting to pick up a secret project, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna start this book tomorrow when I get home from work because I don't want to traipse this around the city with me tomorrow because it's just too pretty, to be like so honest, and I don't want to bring this with me to the city. But this is his secret project. It is quite hefty. It's like 400 pages. It has in-color illustrations. So I think I'm gonna wait to read this until I'm home tomorrow because then I don't have to traipse it back and forth. And I will probably try to finish this like over the weekend, like just because it has illustrations. I haven't read a Brandon Sanderson project book yet, so this will be the vlog for that. But because I'm always reading something, I think I'm just gonna go make a wheel for my other vlog. And I might just like do that and see what kind of gets picked. So I don't know. I'm kind of like a little bit indecisive right now, like what I want to pick up. But yeah, so I'm going to pick up Trust of the Emerald Sea, and I'm going to read it this weekend and see how far I can get. But I've really been itching to pick this one up, and I think this book is perfect. But this is my nice edition, and I do want to read it because it has such pretty illustrations in it. And I know I could pick up my like audiobook, like my ebook as well, but I just want to read it this way. So I'm really excited. These are I kickstarted him, and I'm really excited to finally read one. So that will be my book for this reading vlog. But I need something to read for tomorrow, so I'm probably just going to maybe not like just pick up something random and like read it. I don't know. I just need something to read tomorrow. So when I come home, I'm going to pick up Trust of the Emerald Sea. But for right now, I'm going to pick up something to read. Just something quick. But yeah, I'm excited. This is also a 5-star read production. All of his books are, so that will be great. It's also a big hefty points. I have read him before, but this will still be a lot of points. All right. So I am going to go pick something to read for tomorrow for work. And tomorrow when I come home, we're going to start Trust. And I'm really excited. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hey dragons, I'm back. It is Saturday. It is, I don't even know what day it is. I should know that, right? Yeah, because it's 16th. So yesterday was pretty busy. I got home, played with her, who demands a lot of love and affection. And I basically do all my prep work on Fridays. Like I had to film my wrap up. I had to prep some YouTube posts. I'm getting my flu shot next weekend and I have like a Monday off, but I know that I'm going to have to film more videos. So I tried to do all my blog stuff for like, sorry, you're going to hear her being loud in the background because her toy squeaks. But I did all that, and then at the end of the night, I just didn't really want to do anything else. But I did wind up reading about 50 pages of The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston or Poston. I can never say her name right. Which I really am liking, and that's going to be like my backup book when I'm running errands. I am going to get my nails done today. I have to go to the library. I have to do a couple other little things. But my primary book for today, or this weekend, is to read Trust of the Emerald Sea because I picked it in my scavenger hunt. Yeah, I've read about like literally 6 pages of this, but I'm intrigued like right off the bat. I'm really excited to keep reading. I love Brandon Sanderson's writing style. This one seems very fairy tale-esque to me, which I've never really seen Brandon write before, so I'm intrigued. And this book is just stunning. Like, oh, so pretty. The illustrations are very, very pretty, and I'm just really enjoying it. But I've literally read about 6 pages. So actually, let me go get you The 7-Year Slip and tell you about that book, because at least I've read 50 pages and feel like I have like an update for you. This book, I just wanted to show you the pretty edition that I have because it's just stunning. Very, very pretty. I kickstarted Brandon Sanderson. To be honest, this cover works a lot for me than the one that Tor has picked up. I don't love all their covers, but I do love these. Let me go get the 7-Year Slip and then we'll chat about it. Oh, and I have an update on an audiobook as well. So my primary reading is going to be this because I picked it for the scavenger hunt. But if I get through this, I'm probably going to finish those 2 books as well. Cassie. Dragons, I'm back. So it is about 1, I would say. I do have some updates. I did wind up listening. I got my nails done, which I never do. But I got them gelled, so maybe they'll last longer. I am very, very bad when it comes to getting my nails done. I mean, they get them done, but then they don't last long. So I got them nicely done just because I like to play with them when I'm working. But because I did that, I wound up taking the puppy for a walk. I wound up walking to town. So I have about 2 hours left of Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. I'm loving it. I think it's great. I think the art element is really cool. I think the twist is like pretty obvious, but I could be wrong. I like there's a dog present and accounted for. There's some very unlikable characters that are supposed to be unlikable, which I like. I like the narrator. I like the writing style. I just think it's a fun read. Probably going to be 5-star, which is great because I'm hunting for 5 stars this month. But it definitely, like, I know people say it's like women's fiction, but I think there's a solid romance plot to that, and hopefully I'm going to read more by Catherine Center in the future because some of her other books, especially The Bodyguard, sound really, really cool. As for this, I have read about 51 pages in Trust of the Emerald Sea, and I'm adoring it. Like, I love it. I think that this is going to be a new favorite book by Brandon Sanderson, and I think it's just so witty. Now, there's someone's narrating this, and I think that person that's narrating it is connected to the Cosmere. I could be wrong, but like that name just sounds so familiar, so I feel like I'm right. I feel like the person narrating Trust is like in the Cosmere, but I don't know if I'm right. So I'll report back, but I have only read like one book of the Cosmere, so don't, actually two books technically, but I'm just loving it. It gives me such like a fairy tale vibe, and one of my favorite YA books of all time is The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Henning. But this basically follows a main character named Tress, and she lives in this island, and there's like, you can't really travel. Whenever you're on this island, you're on this island. And she's very, very content. The narrator in this is so funny because he's like talking to you, which I love in fantastical books because I feel like you get more information on the world. And she really likes the prince, the duke. And she decides that like she really, really likes him, and they're friends, and she has an obsession. She collects cups. This is all in the first 50 pages. And then the prince winds up leaving with his dad to like go and find a princess, and she's very unhappy about that. He never comes back, and he's basically kidnapped by a sorceress. And because the rest of the world didn't really like him, he was a little bit like chatty. He didn't want to get married anyway. He was doing everything he could to kind of get out of this marriage because he didn't want to get married. They just sort of left him there. They said the sorceress could take you. We're not going to get you. He has a new heir, and Tress is the only one that cares. So Tress is going to kind of go on a quest to save him. You had me. I love that trope. I love it. So, and I've really struggled with Brandon Sanderson's adult novels. I just didn't feel that connected, but I like that we have a female main character. I know he's wrote other books that have female mains, and I just have to show you this picture. Oh my gosh, just stunning. The artwork is done by Howard Leon, and I'm just really enjoying it. I think someone told me this book was like loosely inspired by Princess Bride, which I can see like the princess saving you element, but I'm just enjoying it. So I'm gonna go read another 50 pages and get up to I'm probably going to try to get up to 150. That's the goal. And then I'll give you guys like a solid update and a time check. I would love to, I mean, again, I don't want to rush it, but I'm just really enjoying it. I'm also watching some YouTube videos. I'm trying to get catch up. I have 90 videos to watch, which is a lot. And I'm also trying to finish up Superman and Lois this weekend, so I have a lot to do. And I don't have enough time. My puppy's over there sleeping, so I might show you guys her in a little bit when she wakes up. She'll probably come and bite my wrist. But yeah, I'm really happy that I picked this up. I was a little bit hesitant because the straight up Cosmere books weren't really working for me. But I'm definitely going to give it a shot again once I read these. I know I should have probably read them out of order, but this book is just working for me and I'm really, really liking it. So I'm going to go back to reading and just entertaining myself. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. And so I just want to give you guys a bit of an update. It is about 2:30 and I did wind up getting about 100 pages into Tress of the Emerald Sea. I'm loving this book. Like, this book is really working for me, and I've said like I've been on a journey for many years to find adult fantasy books that work for me just because none have. This book is working for me, and I don't know if it's because it's more fairy tale-esque. It just has a lot of elements that are all kind of working together, and I know that this was he tried to find a book he thought his wife would like, and I think that like all the elements that Emily likes really do work for me. But it's just like a fun read. Like, it's really, really quick. I think the narrator in this book is really working for me, and the way that he tells the story, our main character, is really, really fun. It's also a female lead, which I haven't read anything with Brandon Sanderson that has had a female lead. Other projects of his do, just nothing that I read. But I'm really, really loving it. It has like a seafaring adventure. There's a female main character. There's animal companions that are working. And I'm really, really enjoying it. So I'm going to go read another like 100 pages and then I will give you guys an update. But so far this book is just a fun time. It's a very, very quick read. Very, very digestible with really, really quick chapters. But I'm really, really liking it. I think Tress is a really, really fun character, and I like that she is sort of having to go on this adventure to find the man that she loves, because that's like such a reverse of what I normally read. And I keep equating it back to The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Henning, because that was the premise of that, and I think she kind of based it off of what he kind of based it off of, because I think it's like a very like big property. I think it's The Princess Bride, I could be wrong, but I feel like Hoyt is in other properties from Brandon. After I read this, I'm gonna watch his talk about Tress, but that name sounds really, really familiar. So I don't know if it's the same character or he's just like teasing his readers. But I'm loving this book. I really am. I'm very much enjoying it. and I'm having a really, really good time. So I'm gonna keep reading. But it's a very, very quick read, and I just think this book is just formatted so pretty. It also has pretty big text. I don't know if you could really see, but that may be why I'm going through it at a quicker pace. But it's just a fun read. It's very, very adventure focused, and the world is very interesting. So like they have these spores that kind of like collect everywhere, and once you touch a spore, it kind of attacks you. So it has like, it kind of gives me the Last of Us vibes, like how that world was sort of constructed, and how dangerous those are. So it's very, very interesting, very, very compelling. Right now we're in a seafaring part, but I really do like the narrator in the story. It's probably one of my favorite parts. And oh my god, this book is just so pretty. Dragonsteel does a really, really good job with their like special editions, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye out on future special projects because I just really love it. I want to read more of Brandon Sanderson's standalone projects, even if they're not necessarily connected to the Cosmere, because I really am liking it. I really do want to give like his other projects a chance, but these books are working for me. My goal for before the end of the year is to finish all 4 of these, so we'll see if that's doable. But I'm going to go read another 100 pages. And yeah, I'll give you guys an update. Oh my god, these illustrations are just so pretty. So yeah, I'm gonna go read another like page to 200, and then I'll give you guys an update and a time check. Hopefully it doesn't take me all day, but I am watching Superman and Lois as well, and my goal is to finish that this weekend as well. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Dragons, it's like much later. It's like almost 9, I think. So I have been reading pretty much like the whole day, and I did make some progress in Superman and Lois, but I want to do my physical read update. I got up to 200 pages in Trust of the Emerald Sea, and I'm really liking this book. Like, I think I'm quite fond of it. I think it has a lot of elements that I really like. Like, as I said, it's very much an adventure, and it's a seafaring adventure, and that whole element is giving me Isles of the Gods vibes that I talked about earlier, which was so far my favorite book of the year. But I love the seafaring elements in the story, but it also has a lot of other elements that just working for me. It also has elements that are reminding me of The Last of Us, which is my favorite TV show of this year. Like, I really enjoy it. But it also just has other elements. I think it's almost like Brandon Sanderson himself is telling me a story. And like Brandon Sanderson is this character named Hoyt, who, if you read any other books by Brandon, I think you've seen this character before because I just have a feeling. I haven't read it, but I think that he does appear. I'm just really liking it. Like, it's a very fairy tale-esque story, but the world is just very interesting. The world reminds me a lot of like an apocalyptic event, but like in like a fantastical setting. And there's a lot of elements in this story that are just charming and whimsy that I am liking, and I'm just really captivated by the sea elements right now. Yeah, so it is, I think, I had to take my watch off, but I think it's like about 9. I'm also reading Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. I will touch a photo at some point in this vlog because I am listening to the audiobook. I'm loving it. That is going to be a 5-star read. I definitely think I saw the element coming at the end, like the twist, but I'm still loving it. I think it's a very emotional read. I think it's very much like trying to find a way to find success even when things don't go according to plan. I think the romance is great. I'm just really, really captivated. I would say this is definitely a romance. I mean, I'm sure romance readers might disagree with me. They might say it's more like women's fiction, but there are a lot of elements of the story that are working for me. We don't get the dual point of view, but I think that's very clear why, like when you get to the end of the story, why we couldn't have that. But I'm just really enjoying it. Like, it's a fun listen. I will definitely finish it tomorrow when I take the puppy for another walk and when I go to yoga. But yeah, I'm gonna go try to read another like 50 pages of this. I really want to watch one more episode of Superman and Lois, maybe even 2. But I'm captivated. Like, I really am intrigued to see how this story ends, and I'm just very intrigued. I'm very happy that I decided to kickstart this because I have not read anything really by Brandon Sanderson. I read Mistborn book 1 and I didn't love it, but that's when I was still getting into my fantasy era, and then I read part 1 of Way of Kings and I struggled. And those are my first 2 fantasy books. I think that was like a mistake. But I want to go back and I want to reread both of them and just see how I feel. But so far, this is really working for me. So I'm going to go read another 100 pages. And when I get up to page 300, I will give you guys an update. That will probably be tomorrow unless I like decide to stay up all night reading, which has not happened in a while. But this book is really doing it for me. Really liking it. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. I want to do a better update than the one I just gave you because the dog kept barking and I don't think you heard what I said. So I did want finishing Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. I'm going to attach a photo at some point. I love that book. I gave it 5 stars. I think it works so well for me because it had a nice balance between self-discovery elements like that, but also like a really, really solid romance. I think the romance was a bit predictable, but again, it was just a fun read. Like I really liked it. I got so invested and I had a hard time stop listening. I think the narrator of the audiobook that I listened to really captured the humor and I loved it. There was a dog in it. There was a dog in the book on the cover that was also in the book, which is a pet peeve of mine. Don't put an animal in your cover unless it's like directly involved in the story. You'll make me sad. But I just loved it. I thought the last like 20 minutes was just hysterical. Like basically the main character has face blindness. There was a lot of issues with that. There's also a side plot about her family that was like very hard-hitting and very, very taxing on the reader. It was just really, really fun. I'm also just picked up her book The Bodyguard, which I'll attach a photo probably before or after this clip. I'm not that far into it. I'm probably not going to finish in this vlog for sure, but I am liking it and I'll talk more about that in my next video when I'm reading it, or I'll talk about it in my wrap-up, but I am really liking that as well. Yeah, so I also did wind up getting up to page 300 about in Trust of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I'm really enjoying it. The seafaring elements in this story definitely work for me, and again, I am on a seafaring kick. I've been trying to hunt for books that have that element and also have quest elements. This is just giving me Isles of the Gods vibes because of the seafaring element. The main character is just very like, she's not a typical heroine, and I like that. Like there was a line in the front, like what did she say? I don't know, I can't remember. She didn't, this is a part, it's like from page 7 of my book. She didn't train at fencing in secret, she couldn't talk to animals, and she had no hidden royal deity in her lineage, though her great-great-grandmother Bobs had reportedly once waved at a king. When it was passing the rock, but Tress didn't think that counted. And I just like the charming way the story is being told, and I just like Tress as the main character. Like I think it's interesting that like she's going on this massive adventure to save someone that she really cares about. You don't see that nearly enough. It's always like the reverse, and I'm just really fond of this writing style. I desperately want to read more by Brandon Sanderson. I think that this was a good entry point for me because now I'm more motivated to pick up his other works. I will be honest, Mistborn and Way of Kings still do scare me because they're really, really massive, and I'm not a big high fantasy reader, but I do love his writing style, so yeah. So yeah, I'm really liking it. There are a lot of elements in the story that work. I love the narrator, I love the characters, I love the seafaring adventure, I love that she's protecting someone else, and it looks like it's going to be wrapped up in one volume. Like I don't know if we're ever going to get more, but I just like this world, and I just like the characters quite a bit. So I'm going to go read another 50 pages. I also have, I think, like 2 more episodes left of Lois, Superman and Lois, which I really wanted to finish this weekend, so I could pick another show to watch next weekend. Next weekend I'm also getting my vaccine for COVID and my flu shot, so I have off on Monday, and I'm also going on a few trips in the next coming months. I'm going to talk about that in my reset vlog because that will kind of go into that, but I'm going on 2 trips in the next 2 months, one in October and one in November, so I want to make sure that I'm as safe as I can be, especially because I do teach. So alright, I'm going to go read a bit more, and my goal is to read another 50 pages, and right now it is, let me give you a time check. Sundays always get away from me. It is 3:24, so I don't think I'm going to finish this book tonight. I could, but if I read like 100 more pages, I will be at page 400. So that really is the goal, to read like at least 100 more pages. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. The puppy is sleeping, which is good. I do have my audiobook of The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. If I do take the puppy for another walk, I'll be sure to listen to it in my ears. And yeah, alright. I am going to go read a bit more, watch my show, watch some YouTube, and I'll update you guys when I can. But so far, this is definitely going to be a 5-star read for me. This is probably going to be my favorite Brandon Sanderson that I've ever read. I'm really excited to check out his other secret projects as well. I want to read The Medieval Guide next because it is right. That was the one, the premise sounded the most interesting to me. And I really want to read his note at the end. And I also want to go back and watch all of his spoiler talks about this because I just think Brandon Sanderson is cool. I have to look up, sorry, this clip is so long, but I also want to look up to see if he's going to Comic-Con. I don't think he is, but if he does go to Comic-Con ever, this is the book I would get him to sign because I love this book so much. So yeah, this good. This edition is so pretty. God, sorry to chalk your ear off. Sorry for the long update. I'll see you guys in 50 more pages for another update. Bye. Friends, I'm back. It's about 7:30, 8 o'clock, but I did wind up listening to a little bit more of The Bodyguard by Catherine Center, which I'm really, really enjoying. One of the plot twists I totally saw coming, but it's just a fun listen. Like, I'm really, really liking it. And I know that a lot of her other books are like women's fiction, but this book is really working for me. It's charming, it's fun. It's about this girl that's like a CIA operative basically, and she's like a bodyguard, and she winds up having to work for this like Hollywood actor that has like a stalker situation, and they wind up having to fake date. Sorry, now my daughter's gonna come visit because she heard me talking and wants to know who I'm talking to. Hello. Oh, you're just gonna sit? Wow, that's shocking. But I did wind up getting, so that was, I'm about like 30% into that. It's just very, very fun. Like, I'm really, really enjoying it. It's giving me small town vibes, even though like none of the characters are really in a small vibe, but sort of like when I read Hello Stranger, the main character is dealing with a lot. Her mom has recently passed away and she's dealing with that. She feels a little bit isolated, I will say that, and like the job is her like thing, and she's sort of competing with her ex-boyfriend for a promotion that she really, really wants, and that's where the story is. So I read about 30% of that. I got up to page 355 and trust, and I'm really loving this book. I'm really enjoying it. Brandon Sanderson just crafts such interest, like his writing, his prose is just very, very pretty. Like, he says quotes, and like I have tabbed it a lot. Like, where was the quote that like just like stood out to me? I don't think it's that much of a spoiler, but it just is, it's basically why I like adventure stories a lot. But you know, it says like, but if you ask the heroes why they risk their lives, don't do it on a stand in front of the crowds or giving their medal, because the truth is they didn't do it for their country or even for their ideals. Consistently across cultures, eras, and ideologies, war heroes report the same motivation they did for their friends. And that's what I love about found family stories and like adventure stories and teaming up, because it just works. And this story has so many elements of that. And it's very much a found family story, but I don't think I was expecting that going in, but I'm enjoying it. And at the heart of the story really is Trust, determined to get to her best friend who she's in love with, or the prince's son that she's in love with, and she's doing things that she didn't even think was possible. Like, you go back to the first page, she doesn't think she's special, she doesn't think she's unique, she doesn't think she's different, and as this story goes on, you realize she does. She has these special skills that no one else has. I think the world is fascinating. It does make me want to read more of the Cosmere, because I just like how Brandon Sanderson writes his worlds. But yeah, I definitely did not finish it this weekend, but that's okay. You know, I got a bit distracted. But I did wind up getting up to page 255. I'm going to try to read a little bit more, but I desperately need to finish Superman and Lois. So I would love to read another 50 pages, but I don't know if that's going to happen, to be very, very honest. I really wanted to get up to page 400 and just finish this off like later in the week, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But that is the plan, but still really enjoying it. I'm really glad that Riley Marie forced me to read this, at this moment, because honestly I would have put this off for so long, because Brandon Sanderson's other works really I struggled with, just because it was very, very high fantasy, and this is a nice entry point. So I'm really glad that I kickstarted it, because this edition is like so pretty, and I really don't like any of the editions I've seen. This is the only one that just really called to me. But yeah, I'm going to go maybe read a bit more, but I'm going to go actually start my next reading vlog, because I'm not bringing this with me to the city tomorrow. So I'm still going to read this when I get home tomorrow, hopefully. But I'm going to go start my next reading vlog, and I'll talk to you guys for another clip either tonight or tomorrow when I get home from work and I have read about 50 more pages. Hi, Vic Dragons, I'm back. So I'm actually here to wrap up this vlog. because I did wind up over the course of the past week. It definitely took me longer than I planned. It was a busy week, and this book is not really portable, but I did wind up finishing Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. Sorry, you're going to hear my dog in the background because she will not let me film this clip unless she's on top of me, biting my wrist. But I really did like it. I think the ending, I'm going to give it 5 stars because I think the whole reading experience was just so worth a 5-star read. I think it slowed down a little bit at the end just because I was reading it in like 20-page chunks. And for a story like this that has a lot of like action and adventure elements, I think that hindered my enjoyment, but that was more of a me issue, not like a book issue. I will definitely plan on reading these books in like a solid chunk of time when I'm not commuting, if possible, because I think that it just works better. Also, maybe the first week of school maybe wasn't the best time to read this because school weeks I tend to read like lighter things, and this was definitely a more heavier story, but it did have like a whimsy quality. It did have a cozy quality, and I think it just worked for me. It reminded me of The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Hennen, and also Isles of the Gods by Amy Kaufman, because it had vibes of both. And I just really, really loved it. I gave it 5 stars, and I really want to go read the other secret projects to see how different they are than the other books I've read by Brandon Sanderson, because this one's definitely going to be a 5-star read for me. So yeah, I'm going to go start my next reading vlog, which will be a little bit different, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you again, Riley Marie, for hosting the scavenger hunt vlog, because honestly, I don't know when I would have picked this up. Like, I would have picked it up eventually, but I'm happy that I made progress on the Secret Project series, because I have another one upcoming in 2024, which I'm really excited for. Hopefully, if I can kickstart it. But yeah, so I am going to go start my next reading vlog, or actually continue my next vlog, and I will talk to you guys soon.